Hello Star Wars and unboxing fans, welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show, Shelf Talk Edition. Okay, so today we are in a different area of the Star Wars collection, and this one I want to kind of point out these four cubicles here, along with the stuff on top. Okay, yes, we have some things over here. I do want to, obviously this is in a basement. You can tell just by certain things, but this is a walk-in. This has a walk-in entrance, which is helpful for loading and unloading. This little pipe thing here is called a radon mitigation system. If you plan on building any kind of collection in your basement, you need to make sure of two very important things. One, that it does not flood, or if it floods, you have some type of a flood system, whether it be French drains, a sump pump, something. Okay, and number two, that there's no radon. Okay, there's probably other things, but I think those two are among the more important. In fact, flip them. The radon thing, most important. We do have a small amount of radon tested when we first bought the house, so we put this radon mitigation system in, which basically pumps, sucks out air and gases from below and goes outside the house. So it keeps it safe. If you're gonna be spending a lot of time in your basement, you do not want to be anywhere near where there's a lot of radon. Okay, it's not going to be good for you or your family or anybody else around that's in the house during that. So, public service announcement. Okay, good. So, what do we have here? So we have a couple of different items. These I kind of like to call my knick-knack shelves. Actually, a lot of what I have are knick-knack shelves because essentially everything I get, I don't have any real complete parts of collections. There's a few things here and there, but for the most part, I just kind of pick and choose. All right. So we'll kind of start. I think I'm going to start probably right on here. We have a couple of items here. We have some we have a die-cast speeder bike. You can see. I can't remember if this is. I think this is Disney. So this is I think one of the Disney items. Okay, either came from the Disney parks or some other place, maybe the Disney store. Okay, but a nice piece nonetheless. And some of these, I will tell you that I've done unboxings. Here we have the Death Star. And you can tell by the base that I almost just lost. Wow, that was kind of scary. Glad I caught that. All right, ooh, it's very top heavy, but it has kind of a cool little effect here. As you spin it, it kind of shows like it's launching the Death Star laser. So that's pretty cool. Now these are things I love. These are from Gentle Giant. And these are animated maquettes, and these were things that I did try to collect as many of them as I could because I thought they were so interesting, well stylized. This is one of the more popular ones. It's Yoda having his little confrontation with R2 from The Empire Strikes Back, and this came out in 2007, and this is an edition of about 2,500. Okay, so it's got some rarity to it, but it's just a really cool piece. It has a decent amount of weight for it, and it's definitely something that works well on some type of a display shelf. There's no moving pieces to it or at all. It's just kind of a separate unit. And along with that, we have a Jawa and C-3PO. Again, as you can see, not too big. These are what I would call mid-end collectible. They have high-end and low-end collectibles. This would be mid-end collectible. It just has a nice look to it. Again, this is a 2007. Okay, so just a nice piece. Okay, that clears out this one. Over here we have, also from Gentle Giant, we have Admiral Akbar from The Force Awakens. And they have a lot of busts that they have made busts of pretty much every character. They have smaller busts, larger busts. I don't collect them all. I only collect a handful here and there, but I've always loved Admiral Akbar. I was so thrilled he was in the movie, even if it was albeit for a brief amount of time. So it was just cool to see, and I liked his look. I liked the look of the outfit. So I decided to pick that one up. So there you go. Put Admiral down there. You have to put all this stuff back up. You've already seen these on recent episodes. This is where I've placed our two wind-up robot toys from the Disney parks and the Disney stores. This is from the Solo: A Star Wars Story. All right. And we have our, not that we're anywhere near the holidays right now, but we do have our Darth Vader snow globe, a holiday themed snow globe. I really like this because it's hard to make out on here, but you can see that he has, I'm just trying to see so I can read it. He's got all the names of characters like Tarkin, Palpatine, Boba Fett, Veers, but where it says Han, Luke, Leia, Yoda, he has them crossed off. Now I don't know if that means he's crossed them off because he's taken care of them, he's already gotten what they want for Christmas, or he's taking them off the list because in his mind they're naughty. So who knows? So there you go. All right, another one. Okay, now we're getting into some kind of strange ones here. Sorry for the dust, but another reason why I do these on Shelf Talk, so I can do a little bit of quick cleaning. Yeah, we have Leia and R2. Now this Leia is looking a little bit, shall we say, risque. I don't know. She never looked like that in the movie. Okay, she never even looked like this when she wore her Slave Leia outfit. So I guess it was just Gentle Giant, the artists of Gentle Giant, were having a little fun. So it's neat. I like the way she's holding the gun and kind of posing with R2. So overall, it's interesting. So I'm good with that. All right, moving up the shelf a little bit. This is an award I received, so it's probably not something I should show you. We have another die-cast item. We have the land speeder. What I really love, yeah, this is from the Disney store. What I really love about this, okay, more than anything, is that it's a throwback to the vintage vintage die-cast vehicles, of which they had about 7 or 8, and this was the one. It did include Luke and Obi-Wan in it, but it was about this size. I have that. At some point in a future episode, I can do some shelf talks with some of the vintage stuff, but that's going to take some time because they are tucked away, and I have to get those out. So, all right, and here we have Yoda. Another Gentle Giant limited edition. I don't think I have any batteries. Yeah, actually, now that I look at this, I want to make sure. Yeah, unfortunately, this is the downside about having a collection. Batteries do eventually corrode, and an acid comes out, and it gets all over the toy or the collectible. Let me get a close-up look at that. His idea is that he kind of lit up, but he kind of has a glowing even with just regular light, so it doesn't really need to happen. But yeah, the battery, unfortunately, batteries leak. So a lot of times, another nice thing about being down here doing my unboxings is that I will eventually have to take all the batteries out of everything. It's just the nature. It's a sad part of it because especially some of the newer toys, they're really cool. They do really neat features, but it's really hard. You have to unscrew everything to put the batteries in and then make them work, and it's kind of a pain. So it's one of the reasons I love the Force Link wrist thing, because then you have only the batteries in that, and all the toys are blank. They don't have batteries in them, so therefore you can, display them properly and not worry about it. All right, moving up. Okay, I'm gonna move some things around here just because we're kind of running out of places to store stuff. So we have Boba Fett, and I believe this is just the regular animated Boba Fett. They have made different versions of this. I think they made a animated version like from the holiday special cartoon. They just painted it differently, but this is a really cool position. Some of these remind me in some ways of the Unleashed figures, which I have many of them, but I will be honest, that's one thing I'm looking into selling because they're just, as plastic pieces, they don't hold up. They're plastic, and there's great poses like this. You have a figure making a really cool, epic pose, but it's plastic. And after a while, the plastic starts to corrode, and what happens? Everything starts to sink. It does. So I don't know if anybody else has seen that. There are probably ways to fix that, but I'm just with limited space. There's not much more I can do with that. So we might be unloading those. I already gave one away in a previous episode. Maybe I'll do that again. Here we have Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker on Hoth with his X-Wing outfit. Yeah, the animated maquettes are just amazing. They're so much fun. So I really enjoy that. Get a little close up there. You know, they don't really, they're stylized. I understand that, but just a cool look. Okay, over here we have another Disney or titanium. And this is the shuttle from Rogue One. Cool piece. I like to see different vehicles, you know, just because, you know, we've had a lot of X-Wings, we've had a lot of other things here, you know, so it's nice to see that. All right, these are some interesting little fellas from, let's see. This is from going back from 1998. This, again, limited edition of 2,500. Gentleman by the name of, sculpted by Greg, I want to get his name right, but it's really hard. Greg Aronowitz. Some really, really cool busts. This is before Gentle Giant was doing it. And I will say this one is damaged. If you look closely, you'll notice that one of his little spikes is missing. As well as, oh no, I think that's it, just that one. So, but the Tusken Raider, really, really cool. And then, of course, one of my favorite ancillary characters, and that is Figrin Dan, one of the band members. Those who know me know that music is, well, I'm Darth Tuba. Music is a big part of my life and my profession. So, of course, when you can combine music and Star Wars, I'm thrilled. So, of course, my favorite ancillary characters are the Bith musicians from the Cantina Band. I was so thrilled when they finally started making figures of them. But the bust was a really cool piece, and I definitely wanted to have that as part of the collection. So, there we go. Cool. All right. Let's put him back. All right. Almost done here, folks. Thank you for your patience. Okay, so we got a couple things up here. What do we have? We have, well, we got some Last Jedi figures. Got the Praetorian Guard. Now, some people might say, you know, why would you put figures up there? These are usually just temporary. Here's Rey with her fancy backpack cannon that was never in the movie, but somehow ended up as a toy. Some people ask, you know, why would you put them up there? Well, I do that because this is a temporary place for them. Okay? Eventually they'll get stored in little plastic cases, which is ironic. I take them out of boxes, but you take them out of packaging that's this big and put them in packaging that's the size of the figure, and it's a little, you can display, collect, store more of them. So here's Kylo Ren. And I do believe these are the ones with the Force link, so they do have, I think I've done all unboxings with this. Here's Rose. Poor Kelly Marie Tran. Kelly Marie Tran, if you happen to stumble across this video, I think you're awesome. I think you're an awesome actress. I think you're an awesome person. And I think your character was great. And my hope, why you left the internet or whatever, left social media, didn't have anything to do with the haters out there, because that's just sad. But nonetheless, I got your back. And of course, we have Paige and we have Luke. All right, so these guys are, you know, you've seen these before, but I just needed to clear them out so I can make room for showing you what's up top here. Okay, so 2 more items. All right, this is going to be tricky. Let's see. Well, you know what? I'll take one down first. Okay, this is actually one of 2. This is a Kotobukiya, which is another, I think, a Japanese model or display statue company. And they did this 2-pack or 2-piece of Vader and Luke Skywalker, but the Ralph McQuarrie concept art. Now, I'm a big fan, as many collectors are, of Ralph McQuarrie concept art. All right, you know what, guys? For my own sanity, I'm going to just show you one piece at a time. I'm so afraid of dropping these. Here we have Vader. And if you look, I'm going to get you a nice close-up Vader. You can see the look of his mask is a little different. And you also see that he has some blue with his uniform. Remember, this is concept art. Pretty cool, right? And you might have seen this painting of Vader fighting this character. I don't even know if it was Luke. It might have been Luke Starkiller. It might have been an unnamed character at that point. But it was an epic, epic scene. So, and it was celebrating. This is the sad, freaky part. It was celebrating in honor of the Star Wars 30th anniversary. So it's 10 years old. I'll give you another close-up on Luke here so you can see. See, he's got the mask on. because they were envisioning this taking place in space, which is why Vader even had the mask on to begin with. It had nothing to do with a scarred body. Remember, these are early images. Like, these are this is like among one of the first images of Star Wars before we saw it, years before we saw it in the movie. But you can see his whole look. Just a really cool setup. So, let me get him back. All right. There we go. And last but not least, we have, yeah, he's kind of in the frame, so we do have a couple of Beanie Babies up there. Okay, some honorable mentions, okay? They're really hard to see. I'll grab one or two of them. Here's Yoda and Salacious Crumb. And this is back when the Beanie Babies were very popular, okay? $6.99 at KB Toys. Came out in 2004. Actually, I don't even think the Beanie Babies were really popular. And sometimes Lucasfilm and the toy companies, they were a little late to the party. But they're cute. I enjoy them, okay? There was not a lot of plush Star Wars back in the vintage days, but then when they came back, they were really making up for it. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but we also have R2, a biker scout, a Jawa, another Yoda, Chewie, a third Yoda with a different type of Yoda, and an M&M, yellow M&M dressed up as Chewbacca. That was a 2005 crossover. It was weird. We won't talk about it. Anyway, last one I'm going to show. Here we go. We have the General Grievous cookie jar. I think it's a cookie jar. Yes. There it is. There's his head, and you can open up his head and put cookies in it. I've always loved cookie jars. I have about 4 or 5 of them. I think they're fascinating. I think they're a unique collectible. They do take up room, however, so I don't know if I'll always be able to collect cookie jars, but I collected a few. I loved the look of this. From a display perspective, it's outstanding. I'm sorry, I have to be a little careful getting them back there. Okay. And by the way, just another little inference about the shelving. This is basic Home Depot or Walmart shelving. Again, getting back to what I said at the beginning, this room is not 100% flood proof. It's about 99% flood proof. But whenever there is, something, if you see in the weather report a hurricane coming and it says water totals reaching biblical proportions, which is what happened with hurricane, I think it was Irene a few years back. Yeah, that was when no house was safe from at least a little bit of water, and we did have our share. Thankfully, everything here is up about a foot off of the ground, so none of the toys. The only toys that, in fact, the funny thing is, and I'll end with this funny story. At that time, there were a few items that were on the ground and therefore got wet. And when it was all done, and then we cleaned up and we got the water out of the house, and we had all the windows open and we had fans and dehumidifiers and everything running, I basically did this. I took the toys, any box toy that was damaged, and I put it in the center of the room here, and I stacked them up. And then I sat on the couch and I was looking at them and I'm thinking, my first thought was, how devastating. All of these beautiful toys, all their boxes are ruined. Mind you, none of them were vintage 1970s or 80s toys. No, I always unboxed them anyway when I was a kid, so I have nothing like that. But I looked at this pile of toys and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? And then it was like, all of a sudden, the second thought in my head was, hey, it's like Christmas morning. I'm just going to open them. And that's exactly what I did. I opened up every single one of those, and it was fantastic. It was like Christmas morning. I put all the toys together. I put the labels on them. I put everything together. And then all of a sudden, I had this great display of all these amazing toys. You know what? And it's really where I started with the idea of just doing an unboxing show. It took me a few years to finally get into doing it. But it was, I just thought, what? Unboxing is more fun. It's just more fun. Some things I keep, yeah, but a lot of times I just like to unbox. And I like to display, so it's fun. But these are also great because they're cheap. They don't take up a lot of, they look cheap. Like I said, there are people that do, recessed shelving and everything with internal lighting and everything, and that's fantastic. But these work really well too, and you can find them in any big box retailer or construction places like Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, that kind of thing. All right, so hit my 20-minute mark. So that'll do it for this week's episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show Shelf Talk. Okay, as I said, there will be more shelf talks. There will be more unboxings, and we will be, if you know, these might be out of order, so we might have already done a Disney walkthrough. Okay, kind of an update of Disney, the parks, the launch bay, the merchandise there, and there'll probably be an unboxing follow-up with that as well, like we've done in the past. So that's coming up. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, hit the notification button, comment, leave questions, anything you need to know. Let me know and I will answer questions. DarthTuba77@gmail.com if you want to send me an email. You can also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at DarthTuba. Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing page on Facebook. You should be checking that. You should be following that because I actually released a live unboxing. And there will be more live unboxings as we go. Maybe on YouTube, but maybe also on Facebook. So get on board with that one and like or follow that so you can be aware of when that happens. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, may the Force be with you.